So, good morning, and today we are going to start log 2. It will be the last learning outcome because learning one, we are outcome number 2, and we will be done with all the learning outcome. So please accept my apologies as usual, because if I turn on my camera, it's gonna make my internet connection stable. So in today's session, we are going to just review the leadership styles. We have already covered these but we will be doing a kind of the evaluation of these leadership styles in bit detail. And we will talking about different types of leadership, include continuum of leadership style. And then we will be discussing adopting leadership style to apply in different business situation, and the required hard and soft skills, impact of leadership and management style on decision making in a business organization. Okay, so if we the so there is overview of leadership style. We have already discussed all these leadership styles in like quite well. But today we will just quickly go through what these leadership styles are and where these styles or what kind of the theorists were involved in these one. So these are the key theorists at the bottom. So these we will see which theorists are attached with what kind of the leadership styles. Authoritarian leadership style, in this case, the whole decision is made on the higher level. They don't take any kind of the input from their subordinates. So there is a little or no input from their subordinates. So in other words, it is a centralized decision making which is done at the higher level, maybe corporate level or a higher management level. So these are the theorists who are attached with this style. In democratic, as the name explains itself, there is inclusion and participation from all the member or most of the members. So in this case of in this style, leadership style, leaders try to or they encourage their team members or their employees from the bottom level to participate in decision making. And sometimes it is very good when you are taking the input from the different levels. Sometimes maybe you overlook some kind of the information, or you miss some kind of the information which can be provided from the bottom level or from the middle level manager. So sometimes it is a good to have information from all the levels. So here in this case, you try to participate or encourage other members from the different department and from the different hierarchy of the organization, mean bottom level and lower level. So, uh, as in this case, giving a minimal direction and you are giving too much power to your team members. They are working independently. You are empowering them. But in this case, they are very responsible, and then they take the responsibility of their actions also. So these people are very motivated people. So this is Goldman's theorist is attached with this style. Then transactional thing, as the name says, you are doing the transaction. If they are performing better, your employees, then in that case, you are rewarding them with money, with recognition. Otherwise, you are giving them penalties to control their behavior. So in this case, you are focusing on the structure of the organization. Okay. Transformational, in this case, you are just trying to bring the change in your organization. You want to inspire the team. You want to bring the innovation in the organization. And again, you need to see. So this theorist is attached with this one. So these kind of the leadership style, you need to see in which kind of the organization they are more suitable. So in upcoming style, we will see or maybe I think so. Next slide, we're gonna explore some examples. If we can see in the Apple, they are using transformation leadership style. In Amazon, they are working on task-oriented leadership. NHS, they are focusing on democratic management. So because the organization requirement and structure and task of the organization also dictate what kind of the leadership style is required to run that organization most effectively and most efficiently. So there are the different factors you need to consider: needs and culture of the organization. So after considering these things, you need to decide what kind of the leadership style are more suitable for certain organization. Democratic management style in NHS, why we are using that one? Because their emphasis, their focus is, or they are stressing on collaboration and employees' input in decision making. So that's why they are they are using the democratic style, because they need input from everybody. So that's why this leadership style is more suitable for this organization. On the other hand, if we talk about the Apple side, in transformation, as we talked about, they are more suitable where the organization are looking for the change or for the innovation. So in those organizations, this kind of leadership style is very successful. So Amazon task oriented, so they just focus on operational efficiency. Tasks are completed in time. So in that case, you are just focusing on the tasks and performance standards. You just want to meet the performance standard, timely delivery, the correct product is delivered to the right person. So they are just focusing on the task completion and the processes, organization, operational of efficiency, speed and cost cut down. So task-oriented leadership style is more suitable for this organization. So this is a manager's job to focus on or to decide in there is of leadership style. So basically, this frame outlines four distinct leadership and management style, and they goes from high authoritarian to highly participative. So if we can see the breakdown of these styles, okay. So if we go in detail, the first one is a exploitative authoritative. So in this case, what happened? All the decisions are done. Decisions are centralized and they are made at the top level by the top managers, and the communication normally flows from top to down only. So there is not a way that it is going from down to top. It's one-way communication, in other words, from top to down, from higher management to lower management. So there is a no more motivation. People are working just because of threats, fear, and punishment. So they to avoid these things, they try to do their job. Environment is not very trustful. Employees feel stressed all the time. So employees' participation is almost zero or very minimal. So this is the most kind of the autocratic and least effective for morale. You can't motivate employees. Okay. Okay. And the next one is benevolent authoritative style. So in this case, what happens? Still, your decisions are made from top to down, but leaders may allow some delegation, okay, to their employees. They are giving some kind of the power to them. Communication mostly again it is flow from top to down, but sometimes they allow some kind of the information flow from upward flow. I mean, employees can communicate little bit. Openness is there. So motivation, they're for the motivation they are using kind of system where they are introduce reward mixed with punishment. They're working well giving reward, otherwise they punish their employees to control their behavior. And if you talk about in such kind of the where you use such kind of leadership style, environment is somehow it is trustworthy, but still limited. It's not very trustworthy environment. From participation perspective, if we talk about So employees' participation is limited. So sometimes employee input may be requested, but it's not sure that it is always would be considered. Okay. So that previous. Okay. And the third one is consultative, as the name is very quite self-explanatory. In this case, leaders make final decision, but they try to consult their subordinate. They talk, they take their inputs, okay, and then after taking their input, then the final decision authority lies with the leaders to make the final decision. So in this case, the communication is two-way to some extent, and for the motivation purposes, they more rely on rewards, okay, and uh, and with some involvement and responsibility. So the people are taking, they're involved, and they are taking the responsibility of their work and their action. So yes, it is more based on rewards. So in environment perspective, such kind of the style has to develop the trust between managers and employees. Okay, and employees are involved in discussion, though not final decision are made by there, but still they feel motivated because they are included in discussion. So it is kind of the middle ground approach, or kind of the balanced approach that values input but maintains a managerial control. It's not, so they are value their employees input, they listen, they consider their input, but the final decision is made by the manager. Participative, or we can call it a democratic style. It is a decentralized and made collaboratively. So maybe on the different level of the managers, they are given the authority to make the decisions. Or in this case, the communication is mostly two ways, and it is open feedback. And open feedback is encouraged in this kind of leadership style. And the motivation is based on responsibility, because everyone is responsible for their action. So yes, so then that's why they are motivated, and they take the ownership, and there is a meaningful involvement of the employees. Environment is very trustworthy. People respect each other. There is a teamwork. Employees are fully heavily involved in the decisions, and they make these decisions, and they shape decisions and policies. It is the most democratic, empowering, and generally the most effective or innovative and morals. Okay. So these were the style, leadership style. So leadership required some kind of the hard and soft skills. Okay. Okay. So in leadership, when you are, as I explained already, that when you are using the leadership style, it is depend on many factors. So you need to understand the context of the organization, the people involved, and the goal of the organization. So these things also help to decide what kind of the leaderships are required. But at the same time, you need a certain kind of the hard and soft skill. Again, you need to make a decision what kind of the skills are required in what kind of the organization. For leadership style, you need hard skills, strategic planning. You are aligning leadership with the business goal, financial acumen, making informed decision based on the budget and metrics or standards, okay, or key performance indicators. Then project management, you need the skills to how to manage the teams, and you how are you going to manage the workflows to get the work done timely manners. Then you should have a sound industry knowledge, so you can understand the specific dynamics and tool to make strategic decision well in advance. So the soft skill, it is very important. Leaders, they should have emotional intelligence, so they can reading the room, people's behavior, situation, managing relationship, and they can empathize with the employee situation. Then adaptability is very important. This is a shifting style and strategies when circumstances change. When circumstances change, they need to read the situation according to that. They need to need to change their leadership style to be effective. Otherwise, if you are sticking with your leadership style, which is not relevant or effective with a certain environment, then the whole exercise is futile and you will get the zero results. There should be in communication perspective, you should have a skills of clear communication. You have a persuasive skills to get the work done and tailor to different audiences. You should know how to talk with the different audience, what to talk and where to talk and with who you are talking. You need to consider all these elements. Conflict resolution is a very important skill. You should know that how you are going to remove the tension, you are resolving conflicts, so you can continue your work smoothly. Decision making is very important. You need to make the right decision at the right time and you need to be decisive, judging when to lead assertively or collaboratively. So, such kind of the skill leader should have. So if you are going to use autocratic style, maybe you are using urgent decision are required, decision making and operations, such kind of the skill you should be having. Okay, and then you yes and clarify if you're using autocratic style. Democratic style, you are in democratic because yeah. So in this case, you are having skills of strategic planning, facilitation, active listening, empathy, because when you are democratic, you are encouraging participative, then you should be active listening and you empathizing with your employees also, what they are trying to say. In transformational, of course, when you are talking about the change and innovation, so definitely you are talking about the vision, you are communicating the vision. So you are setting the vision. You should have a skills where you can set the clear goals and vision and data analysis skill you should be having there. In transformational, because your style, you are changing people, you are inspiring people. So you should have inspirational skills to inspire your employees or other people. Emotional intelligence is very important. You are using your emotion to judge situation and to to inspire people. Okay, so emotional intelligence is very important skill in such kind of style. Transactional skills where you are giving something in response to your work to get your work done. So in this case, you are working on the budgeting and task management. Task management is very important over here because main focus is to get the work done. So you should be having a task management skill. Then of course there should be clear communication skills. What you want to your employees to do for you, and you are communicating in terms of transactional thing. What kind of the reward and punishments will be in return of their work or compliance with the work or non-compliance of work. Then the next one is you're going to give autonomy to your teams. Then over there, definitely you should have a skill to delegate the powers to this to your employees, and you are designing the system where your trust culture is prevailing there. So in these for this one, soft skills, you need trust. You should have skills where you can trust your people, but you need to you need to judge which people are trustworthy or which people are not. Then you should have a patience. You should have a skills to empower people. So such kind of the skill are required for leadership style. For the situational leadership style, of course, according to the situation, you need to keep doing this. Assessment, workflow design, adaptability, and intuition and empathy is required there. Okay, so we are going to the next slide now. So, what is organizational culture? Can you tell me what is organization culture, Keith?
Yes. What's organizational culture?
You- What is, when we say the organization culture, what is meant by that?
It's the I think it's the outline on how to organize. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we talk about the organization culture, it talks about the shared values, beliefs. Shared values mean what is your vision, what is the reason of your organization, beliefs of the people, how you're controlling and directing or shaping people behavior in the organization, and the norms that shape how people in our organization interact and work together. Uh, in other words, we can say it is the personality of the company. When we say the organization culture, we can it is the personality of a company. It is a kind of invisible force that guides employees' behavior, decision making, communication, and overall atmosphere of the organization. Okay, so there is a Handy's four types. There is a model, Handy's four types: power, role, tasks, person. So let's explore what this culture is. So when we talk about this culture, this model, okay. So before moving to the that model, what are the key element of organization culture? They talk about values, norms, like unwritten rules about how to behave at work, how meetings are run, for example, dress code, email. So sometimes we can consider symbols like logos, office layouts, rituals, or language unique to the company, belief systems, assumptions, or philosophies held by the majority. For example, people say the customer is always right. This is the belief of an organization. And the behavior is also is a key element of organization culture, how people act and treat one another, especially in teams or leadership styles. So why we consider culture? Most importantly, it impacts employee satisfaction. Okay, so healthy culture boosts retention, productivity. It impacts on productivity of organizations and employees. We'll discuss in coming styles, good and bad culture in upcoming style. It has to maintain organization reputation. It helps in change management. Okay, organization with adaptive cultures handle change more successfully. So, in short, organization culture helps to shape how things are done in a work. It is not written in policy, but it is felt everyday practice. So, so there are four types of the culture. Okay, when we're talking about the power of culture, uh, leaders they want to retain the power with them in terms of the leadership. They make all the decisions are made at higher level management. So so it is a central leader. It is all the decisions are made at the top level. If you're talking about the organization structure, it exists in the those are organization where the organization are centralized, mean where the organization decisions are made at the higher level. But in this case, decision making is a very quick and informal because it is just made at the top level. So it is quickly done. They don't need inclusion from the different level. So it is suitable for the small firms and startups. In the case, you are the power source is rules and roles. The people who given the roles, they are in that powers. If someone is the head of the department, manager, or higher level manager. So in this case, you are talking about the roles are the source of the power. So in the bureaucratic kind of the structure where you are just dictating people, okay, you are defining the rules and you are controlling the people. So in such kind of organization is such kind of culture exists. Okay, it is so slow and it is rule based. Mostly it exists in government and corporation because you are yeah it is slow. So expertise team, task based is where it is based on the teamwork. Okay, so the power is given to the different team, and the power is coming from the expertise. The people who is more expert, he has a more power. Okay, and they focus more mainly to finish the work. Okay, and such kind of culture prevail in project-based organization, and decision making is collaboratively, because in project-based, mostly people are working in the teams, and the teams make the decision collaboratively, and it is very suitable for creative and fast changing organization. Okay, and when you talk about the person, it is the individual, maybe sole proprietorship. So structure is a loose or flat structure, individual or consensus. Okay, so sometimes the people individual make the decision, or sometimes they take opinion from their other colleagues and subordinates also. Academic professional groups, so it's best suitable for such kind of the organization. So when we talk about the person, it is more suitable for individual organizations. Okay. Okay, so next, there are many other ways which can influence organization culture. So, namely, mission, vision, and values, leadership styles, organization structure, technology, and digital innovation. So, there are many factors which can influence your organization culture. Okay, apart from, yeah. So let's explore these elements one by one. When we talk about the vision, mission, and values, mainly uh, these things defines why the organization exists and what it stands for. So they guide behavior, they set priorities, and shape decision making. If we can take the example of uh, this slide is just giving an example of Google. So there is another slide I included there. It is talking about the different organization. So let's take an example of Ben and Jerry's. So their mission statement or mission is social responsibility is as important as product and profit. They are taking the social responsibility also along with the product and profit. So what is the impact on culture? Such kind of the vision, how it is influencing the culture. They are encouraging activism, fairness, and employees' engagement in social causes. So they are focusing on the social causes, and they are engaging employees in social causes. So basically, they are focusing on culture of social justice, fun, and ethical business practices. So when they are making any business decision, they are considering the ethical business practices, they are considering the social causes along with the business profit and business growth. Leadership style is a second element which influences the organization culture. It influences how people behave, how they are communicating with each other, how they are interacting. It shapes morale, motivation, and openness in the organization. So it depends on the leadership style. What kind of the leadership style you are using in organization. If we take an example of the Google, they are using inclusive, sportive, and they are supportive and innovation driven leadership style. Okay, so if we see the impact on the culture, so they are promoting creativity because they are supporting. They have their leadership style is inclusive, supportive, innovation driven. So which is very very aligned with the promotion of the creativity, with the support of the creativity, and psychological safety and continuous learning. So this is only happening because the leadership style is very supportive. That's why it is taking place. So in it is very successful where the flat communication is there when you are giving autonomy and innovation embedded in the culture. So it's such kind of the so leadership style impact on these elements. Okay. Organization structure is also very important when you are deciding on the leadership style. It is very important you are using a organizational. You need to consider the organizational structure because it has to choose the right leadership style to implement to get the effective result from the organization perspective and from the employee's performance perspective. So the structure, for example, flat, hierarchical, matrix affects how decisions are made and how people interacts. Okay. So if we can take the example of Apple's, they are using the flat and decentralized system with self-managed teams. So in that case, they are empowering their employees, they are fostering ownership, and they are minimizing the bureaucracy. So there is a culture of the trust because when you are empowering the employee, when you are improving, you are trusting your employees. When you are empowering your employees, you give them the flexibility also. And with the work done, you are not very strict with the schedule or time. It should be done in the morning, it should be done in evening. You are giving the flexibility, but you just need to get work done. So then they also take the ownership to complete the work done by the given deadline or time. And such kind of culture organize foster the customer obsession also. So where you are improving the employee, they are very customer obsessed. They think about the customer, how to best serve the customer by all means. Sorry. Technology and digital innovation is creates big impact, and specifically in today's era, it is creating a big impact on organization culture. So basically, technologies has to transform how people work in efficient speed, so how they communicate and how they deliver value. So shaping a forward thinking or agile culture. Okay. So forward thinking mean you are thinking about the future, you having a very forward seeking approach, and you are having a agile culture where you have a flexibility to respond to the rapid changes in the business environment. Let's take the example of the Netflix. So they focus on digital innovation. They consider the future trends. They use is algorithm. They are using artificial intelligence, and they are using the cloud technology to deliver the content to their audience or to their target market. So this organization or such kind, this is very um, like they are focusing on the future trend. So they are encouraging the kind of a culture in the organization where they can respond to the fast-paced changes, and they're working on the data driven because they are using the algorithms. So this organization is very result focused. Okay. But again, they are fostering the culture of freedom and responsibility supported by real-time tech use. Okay. So technology is also creating a big impact on your shaping your culture. Okay. So in organization, there could be the good culture, there could be the bad culture, and the impact on the organization's performance also. It impact on the performance and productivity of the employees, and then ultimately of their of the organization also. So there are positive culture, there are negative cultures. So positive culture, we will explore what are these. But if we can take the positive culture example, Netflix encourages innovation through its freedom and responsibility model. But anyway, going these model, okay. So in general, culture plays crucial role in shaping organization performance and employee performance. But okay, before talking about the positive culture, sorry, and negative culture, let's dig out some things. Impact on the organization performance. So when we talk about the role of culture, we can't see the role of culture, the impact of culture on just organizational performance. We need to see the its impact on employees' performance also. So let's first discuss the impact on organization performance. For example, if there is a positive culture, so it leads to the higher productivity of the organization where you are communicating clear values and purpose aligned team. Okay, reduce friction in between the team, and you are streamlining the decision making in the organization. And then if there is a positive culture, it fosters innovation that support experimentation like 3M or Google. They lead to faster innovation cycle. Customer satisfaction, where you are having a positive culture, employees feel valued, they often extend that same care to the customer also. The way they feel valued, they just want to deliver the same experience to their customer. If you can take the example of Ritz Carlton, okay, they are using that thing. They are valuing their employees. Then they are trying. Their employees try to deliver that kind of the experience to the customer also. So they are gaining the customer satisfaction. When you are having the positive culture in the organization, so they become the part of the brand identity, attracting loyal customer and ethical investor. For example, Patagonia. Okay, so negative culture, how they are impacting organizations. They lead to low performance and inefficiency. Mistrust is there, miscommunication is there, processes are very slow there. So overall, they are impacting the organization performance. There is a high resistance to change. People are not flexible. Inflexible culture resists innovation. And then these organizations become outdated. And of course, it impacts organization culture. Because when the negative organization environment is toxic, so it leads to the absenteeism, burnout, resignation rate is very high, ethical failure is there. Sometimes weak ethical culture can lead to scandals. So, if there is an example of organization Wells Fargo's, they have a scandal of fake accounts scandal just because of their weak culture, because they were not giving the considering focusing on the values. So maybe on the profitability. Now, the second part, impact on employees' performance. The positive culture boosts engagement of the employees. Employees are more motivated when they are aligned with the organization mission and values, because you are communicating what is the vision and what is the mission of organization. And when you are assigning the role, then you are connecting their roles and responsibilities with the organization vision and mission. So their involvement increases there. Loyalty and retention rate increases, workers stay longer because they feel respected and supported in a positive environment or culture. In such environment, people rewards them. Sorry, such where the culture is a positive, it also bring the creativity and encourage the initiation or initiative in the organization. So basically, they support experimentation. They encourages proactive behavior in the organization, which leads toward the creativity initiatives. So it also impact on the well-being and morale of the employees. If there is a culture which is supportive and inclusive culture, then it has to reduce stress and it increases the job satisfaction. Okay, which ultimately leads toward the productivity and profitability of the organization. Okay, so let's explain positive and negative culture. More or less same thing, but let's go through with the positive culture. In negative culture, there is a too much disengagement. Employees feel undervalued or invisible. They think they are not noticed by the higher management. So then they say if no one is noticing us, then there is no point to work harder to give our best. So they are just doing the bare minimum. Required to complete the task, becoming creative or putting extra effort. Low accountability in unclear or permissive cultures. So poor performances goes unchecked because you don't have a proper accountability system there. And in negative culture, it leads to mental health issues because when you are working all the time in a toxic or high pressure environment, it leads toward the anxiety and stress, and of course, definitely impact on your work and on your productivity, your efficiency, your creativity. If there are negative cultures, sometimes they reduce collaboration between the team. There is a lack of trust. Okay, there is no teamwork. It discourages teamwork. There is not open communication. Or more, more, mostly feel very suppressed in this kind of environment. Okay, and when there is a positive environment, of course, they are just definitely they foster trust, collaboration, employees motivation. They feel valued. They're working toward creativity. So these are all the element which impact. So now we see how the negative and positive culture is is participating toward the individual performance and toward the overall organization performance. So whenever we are making any kind of the organizational decision or strategical decision, we need to consider the cultural element also. When we are setting our vision and mission, we need to address the values we want to see in our organization. It should be embedded in your vision, mission, your strategies also. Okay. Okay. Leadership style on decision making. So some kind of the leadership, not some kind of leadership style also impact on your decision making heavily. So some kind of the leadership style helps to make a quick decision. For example, in authoritarian leaders, they make a quick decision because they are making a centralized decision and just at the top level. So top level people, they don't need to call the meeting, they don't need to include the people from the different level. So they just sit together and they make the quick decision at the top level. Okay, and these decisions are top down decisions because it means level. So they are just running from the top management towards downside of the hierarchy. Democratic style is involve team input. So in this style, it is though time taken, but the possibility is there you are leading toward the good decision because when you are taking the opinion from the different level and from the different views, then there are the likely chances you are making the right decision. On the other side, if you are we are talking about the authoritarian leaders, maybe they are missing on some important part of the information which could be provided from the middle level manager, from the top level manager or front level managers, or from the employees who are directly working on the task. Maybe they can give the very valuable input which could be very helpful to make the right decision. So maybe an authoritarian style maybe you are missing those pieces of information, and which could lead to the ineffective decisions. So in democratic style, though it is a time taken, but at the same time it can lead towards a right and effective decision. So there is a further explanation. So if we are talking about the authoritarian leadership style, it is suitable in the military side. The democratic side, it will be more suitable in creative agency videos. So when we talk about the democratic style, they are working on innovation, and but it could be delayed decision. But authoritarian style, they are speedy decision, but maybe it could be lead to ineffective decisions. Critical evaluation of the approaches, like what are the pros and cons of the of different leadership style. So we'll see that thing. But again, I just want to say there is not any fixed leadership style. It depends on the context, it depends on the goal of your organization, vision of the organization, mission of the organization, and your employees, their behavior, their readiness, who are working in the organization. So you need to see what is aligned or addressing all these factors, considering all these factors, and then make the decision which leadership style will be more suitable. First, we need to, for that reason, you need to know what are to select the right leadership style. First, it is very important you are pretty much familiar the pros and cons of all the leadership style. You need to evaluate all these styles. So authoritarian leadership, we can call it, we also can call it autocratic leadership. So if we see the positive side of this one, it has to make the quick decision, as we have already discussed. It is useful in crisis or emergency. When there are crisis and emergency, you don't have enough time to make a decision. You need a quick decision. So this is a good leadership style. So it gives a clear direction, while in high risk or structured environment, for example, military and manufacturing organization. So it has a good control. It reduces ambiguity, especially for inexperienced teams. You need to give them the clear direction. So inexperienced people, this is good for them. Weakness is perspective, because employee involvement is very less, so employees feel undervalued and disengaged. Lack of creativity is there because you are suppressing the innovation and input, because you are giving the chance to participate. So team members really rely heavily on the leaders for directions. Okay, so as we told you, this is best suitable in high stakes or time sensitive environment with routine tasks. If we are talking about the democratic leaderships, we also call it participative leadership. So the positive side of this leadership is it encourage empowerment of employees, it raises engagement, it gives the ownership to the employees, and that's why it boosted their employees' morale. And it also values and respect diverse perspective coming from the people, and which is ultimately lead to the innovation. And because there is a participative environment, so it enhances collaboration, transparency, and you build the trust between the team. But from the weaker side or the con side, the decision making can be slower. um, and sometimes there is urgent situation, then you can't afford delay in decision. So sometimes too many opinions sometimes can lead to the conflicts, okay, or deadlocks. So then it could be another problem. So for such kind of leadership style, you need there is assumption a level of competence and a motivation. Maybe in reality you can't have a very competent and motivated employees, but this could be another problem. Maybe you haven't as skill team as it is as your task is requiring. So such kind of leadership is very suitable when you are working in a knowledge based or creative industry or organization focused on teamwork. So these are very suitable in such kind of organization or environment. Okay, transactional leadership. We have already discussed this leadership style, but it focus on reward or punishment and performance targets. So the positive side of this style is it sets the clear structure and expectation. Employee knows what is required, okay, what they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to do, what is the deadline, okay, and it is very good or useful when you are meeting short-term goals and you are meeting the key performance indicators. So in such kind of environment, such kind of the leadership style is very important, very useful, and it is very good for routine tasks in operations department or sales environment where you are doing the same kind of the task and routine task. Okay. And on the weakness side, because you are doing the routine tasks, you are controlling your employees, so then there is a limited motivation. So in such kind of with such kind of leadership style, you don't inspire loyalty or passion of your employees. These people are or the employees become very like rigid, inflexible. They they don't or they are not ready to adapt to changes or creativity. So in the drawback of such kind of the leadership style is they are just focusing on the result, not growth, not innovation. They are overlooking that important part of the organization performance. Maybe this is best suited for operations department, sales environment where you are doing the routine task or where you want to meet the targets. Transformational leadership, as the name suggests, it is very it is helpful where you are giving the vision to your organization, where you want to bring the change, where you want to inspire the people. So in such kind of the environment, it is very helpful. So you are highly motivated because you are inspiring your followers, your employees to exceed their expectations. Okay. And then of course it focus on innovation, so it leads to the change also, and it fostered the change and development and ideal in these environments. Okay. And of course it builds a strong culture in organization because it encourages alignment with the vision and values. And then of course we have already studied the element of the good or positive culture. They also lead towards a change and innovation. So they focus and they foster or build a strong culture. Weaknesses is sometimes you over reliance on leader charisma. Okay, and sometimes you are neglecting day-to-day management. You are just focusing on vision, can overlook operational side. So when you are overlooking operational side, then of course you will not be able to achieve your vision and mission, because operation side helps to reach to the goals and reach to achieve the mission and vision of the organization. So transformational leadership is kind of the idealism. So it doesn't fit for in all our environment. So it's just suitable for the startups, tech companies, and for the organization who are going for the transformation. So this is the today's session. Okay. So we have done the evaluation. Okay. So in nutshell, when you are applying the leadership or management style or leadership, you need to you need to consider the situation, you need to consider the context, you need to consider the workforce readiness also. Okay. And you need to be very careful when you are selecting the management and leadership style. It is not only influencing the organization performance, but it is definitely in impacting on the organization culture and the decision making also. You need to consider what kind of the organization, what kind of the context you have. You need urgent decision. You can afford the delay in your decision, but you need effective decision making. So it's completely choice of the leader and the situation and context. So it is all depends on the leaders understanding and reading of the situation, when and how to apply the style to enhance the effectiveness. I will share one case study where they are using the different leadership style at the different stages of delivery of the product and services to enhance the organization to deliver, to produce the product and services, and to enhance the performance of the organization. So it will give you the better understanding. So there are the books are available and journals are available on the Moodle. So we have done with the leadership style, different type of the leaderships, and adapting leadership style to apply in different business situations, and the required hard and soft skill to utilize in different business situation along with the different leadership style. The impact of leadership and management style on decision making in business organization. So we have covered these content in today's session. Do you have any question?